You're listening to A Splash More with Bailey and Hayley, two moms, 12 years apart, who aren't afraid to spill it.
Around here, we pour the wine, tell the truth, and skip the sugarcoating.
So grab your glass. It's time for A Splash More. Well, bestie babes, your girl Bailey here. I have good news and bad news. The good news is that I am no longer pregnant, and we love that baby Brooks is here, but now I can have this lovely glass of rosé. The bad news is that when we filmed this particular episode, which I venture to say is my favorite of the podcast thus far, interviewing my incredible friend, Josie Balka, I had quite literally and figuratively ran out of storage space in my own pregnant brain and on my phone. So I have zero video recording of this episode, which means you will not have the pleasure of seeing my lovely face. However, you will hear my incredible voice. So I hope you all enjoy this. And I just wanted to give that little disclaimer so you weren't confused. Moving forward, hopefully we'll work through some of these technical issues. But if that isn't what A Splash More is all about, I don't know what is, because it just leads into everything we stand for here, and specifically everything I stand for as your real, raw, and relatable bestie babe. So cheers. Enjoy A Splash More. So happy you're here.
We're sitting down with Josie Balka today.
So exciting.
One of my ultimate favorite humans. You and I, similar to Hayley and I, are one of those who chat through multiple platforms at once, which I love. Like we're texting and yelling.
Yeah.
And it just brings me so much joy. And I am just beyond humbled and honored to be sitting down with you here today and have you on. And I'm actually sitting here with your book right in front of me, and you just teased that you're launching your second book in January.
So exciting.
Yeah, I haven't fully announced it yet, just because I felt like I needed to give people some time, but I am putting it out there. Like it's out on Amazon and stuff for pre-orders. Comes out in January, but I haven't put up my hard well, I guess that kind of was a bit of a hard launch post, but my hard launch video of the actual book itself. But I'm really excited about this one.
So like us, you only have a few things going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a few things. Yeah. Another book,
Exactly.
getting married. I'm sure that there are a
Crazy.
million other things that I don't know about. So yeah, you know what it's like to kind of step into doing many, many amazing things at the same time.
Something that as I was kind of chatting with Hayley about having you on today, I was saying that something I feel like a lot of people don't know about you, just having discovered you through your incredible poetry and through social media, through being a creator, is that you are also an on-air personality, and that it's a huge part of still your life and your history. So can you just kind of introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about the life of Josie and all the things that come with it?
I'm a radio host in Canada. I live in Calgary, Alberta. And I do right now a morning show on Country 105, which is the radio station in my city that I live in. And I know, Bailey, you love country music. You guys both love country? Are you both into country?
Love country music.
Yeah,
Nice. Yeah, so it's really cool. There's where I live is very Western, lots of cowboys, lots of cowboy hats, all the time. So it's definitely a really fun thing. And yeah, so I'm a broadcaster and turned social media content creator / writer. I find it so hard to say out loud. I don't know why. You ever get imposter syndrome?
All the time.
1000%.
We talk about it all the time. And you're not just a writer. I feel like you are a wordsmith. I was telling, I really do feel like that. I was telling Bailey that before you jumped on, we were just chatting. Obviously this episode is going to be about something different. They're going to work together, but we're going to talk a lot about body image and how that impacts, stepping into our best self. But before I knew any of that about you, I only knew that you were a poet and just a beautiful speaker. That's how I, found who you were.
Thank you.
Of course. No, I mean it. That post that came out, I guess I should have put 2 and 2 together because of the content of that post, but it really just never resonated to me that you were, had struggles or had a story around body image and weight or anything like that. And after I went through all of your content, I didn't know that either. I just looked at you and I was like, well, I'm confused. How does this person go with this conversation? And then, she filled me in, and then I research more of your content. And
you saying that, I remember this one comment that stuck out to me the most on that post about the one that you might be talking about, just the body image and that whole thing that I'm so grateful I wrote, because oh my god, it changed my whole life. But I remember seeing this comment that was I didn't think you'd been through anything, and this is this makes me like you more. And I was interesting. And I guess when you're just posting online and you're just like posting like, here's my partner and here's my dog and like we got engaged and here's a poem about this, like you're kind of like, okay, cool. And then when you find out that somebody has struggled, if you've struggled with the same thing, you start to be like, oh, because it's hard to like when you see somebody's perfect little reel online of what their life looks like, you can't really tell off the bat if they've been through anything, but everybody has. And I think that's like was such an important thing for me to remind myself too. But everybody I'm watching, like everybody has got something going on, no matter what their house looks like or what their clothes look like or how many designer bags they have. So I learned something from that. I was like, how did you like? You just thought I'd never been through anything? Like, okay,
Right.
yeah,
No, it's so true. And the other post, Bailey knows I talk about it a lot. My brother passed away last year, and it was still is a very complicated thing. And I saw your post about grief, and every time I watch it, it makes me cry. But I'm like, this is exactly what I hope exists on the other side, right? Is just, I hope that he doesn't feel how I feel without him here and all of the things. So seeing that post,
I'm sorry.
No, thank you for saying that. And I'm sorry for whatever triggered that post for you. But we all have it, right? Everyone grieves. Everyone has a grief story in their life.
Totally.
And if you haven't had one that's as massive as losing your brother, unfortunately, the only constant things in life, right, are death and, as they say, taxes. So
those are also very constant.
Yeah, exactly. So at some point we'll experience it. But it was your words are just so fluid. You have such a way of putting one statement next to the future statement, and it's just so seamless. So I'm not just saying that to like blow smoke. I really believe it.
I never scroll past any Josie post, but especially a Josie audio.
Yeah,
it has to live.
You guys are so sweet.
Yeah.
So not to cut us off, because I'm again with you. I'm sure we could talk for hours about a million different things. I just want to give you the opportunity because, as I mentioned, I really didn't have any idea that you had a journey through, whether it's weight loss, the story around body. So I want to give you a platform to be able to tell your story in a brief way. Just tell us a little bit about, what it was like growing up, to what it was like as a teenager, to how you're dealing with it as an adult. So I think people who might not know that you have this journey and that this is a big topic for you, they get to learn a little bit like why you have context around it.
Yeah. I've never really like started from the beginning briefly, but I just kind of suddenly at a young age, like maybe grade like 2 or 3, I was just like starting to be bigger than everybody else. I was like just taller, I was wider, I like relied on food a lot. I always wanted to like eat. It was a huge part of my life. And I remember being like obsessed with food, but also, why am I not as small as the other girls? Like, this isn't making any sense. And I'd like do laps around the basement when I was like 9 years old and like not understanding. But then I would just like was like rapidly gaining weight. And like when I was 15 in high school, through high school, I probably gained like over 100 pounds just in those 4 years of high school. And when I was 15, the gym teacher was like to my mom, like, she is not very flexible and she's not very active, and like this isn't great, like I'd recommend getting her a personal trainer. And at the time we had no money, and my mom went and spent like thousands of dollars on this personal trainer. And I would like go to the gym, and I was only 15 years old, and all my friends were like going to the park and like watching the boys play soccer, and I had to like go to the gym at 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturdays. And it just didn't stick with me. And as you guys probably know from just different experiences in life, you'll never do anything for anybody else. It has to be your choice. And at that point, like the choice wasn't, I didn't feel like the choice was mine. I felt like I was being told to lose weight, which almost, when you're already doing the dishes and then your husband texts you and says, can you do the dishes? And you're like, I'm not doing them anymore.
Yeah.
Like that's like,
I'm
like
dirty
fine.
all the dishes I just washed.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's kind of like when I was like, I kind of want to lose weight. And then other people started to be like, you should lose weight. I was like, it's not on. No. So it kind of just continued to spiral. And when I was like 19, I was at a birthday party, and one of my buddy's sisters rather, posted a bunch of Facebook photos. And one of my friends sent me the photo from the party, and I was like well over 300 pounds at this point, which is fine. Weight's not like a thing, but like just for my height and everything, it just wasn't like a good place for me to be because it happened in a really unhealthy way.
Yep.
And my couple of my friends were like, I think you need to like start taking your health seriously. Like, I think this might become a problem. And I was like, I hate you guys. I can't believe you would say that to me, like blah, blah. And then like the next week after I kind of soaked it in, I was like, okay, this wasn't like a vendetta against me. This was like a cry for help from them to me that I need to start working on it. And that's when I like started to join Weight Watchers and learn about nutrition and started going to the gym. And then once I started to take it seriously and like kind of understand what I was eating and putting in my body, I started like going to workouts that I really loved, like boxing and like HIIT classes and finding community at the gym. And it kind of became a part of my life because I wanted it to be. And now I just can't imagine it being any other way. And it kind of stopped feeling like a fight and more just like a fun progression that like something I love can be paired with change that I needed. So it worked really well. Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, it sounds like change that you not only needed, that you desired at some point. And a couple of things I want to touch on based off of what you said. I had a similar journey. I never, it's hard. Bailey and I talk about this, and we always say like being friends in different bodies and stuff. I never got to a certain point where, people were coming to me and saying things like, you need to take your health seriously. But I'm such a perfectionist. And all of my friends were like a size 2 or a size 0 or a size 4. And I was like a size 8, 10, somewhere in that like ballpark, which is in context. And again, as you mentioned, it's not about weight numbers, all of that stuff. But in context, I just felt so much bigger than everybody else. So I started obsessing about it at a very young age. So the combination of, being smaller, what it seemed like than everybody else, and my perfectionism, it was like this race that I just could never get out of. And I still struggle to get out of, right? Like,
but back then, the narrative surrounding that wasn't, oh, the numbers don't matter. We shouldn't be talking about weight. We shouldn't be talking about clothing size. It was the opposite. So like now we've realized what's appropriate and what's accepted and like how to accept everybody. But back then that wasn't a thing, and how much you weighed did matter, and how much like the number on the inside of your pants did matter. So it makes sense to become obsessive over it back like when we were all growing up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think back, which is sort of the platform for this podcast, I think back on how much of my life I let my weight or my size or the perception of my size hold me back. I didn't put myself out there to meet people as far as like a love relationship goes, which is something I really wanted. It stopped me from really using my voice in a way that I knew I was always meant to use it. It stopped me from really having the kind of relationships even outside of like a love interest. It just really held me back a lot. It stopped me from putting myself in a spotlight simply because I had this perception that I was just like too big and the smaller people deserve to be there more than I did, which is wild, right? It's completely, now to myself, I would say if someone was going through the same journey, like that stuff doesn't matter. And kind of circling back, right, to what I said to you, which is your weight loss journey, your body image struggle was not anything I ever even knew about you. I only knew you to be someone who had just a beautiful way with words. So it's crazy how we create these stories for ourselves that like don't exist to the outside world, right?
Yeah, it is crazy.
Thank you for sharing that. And I'm gonna toss it over to you, because Bailey is like the queen, as we know, of like owning whoever you are, wherever you're at physically, also every other way, mentally, emotionally. But I think really physically, I always tell her, I'm like, she'll put something, we've said before, she identifies as being like the larger bodied friend in our relationship. I don't see it like that, but that's how she has said it. And every single time she puts on like a string bikini or something, I'm like, she looks amazing. Like it doesn't, and it's not because I just love her. I genuinely think that she just has learned how to own her body and own who she is as a human, so that like clothes just look good on you no matter what. It's true. So I want
when you're confident, you wear everything differently. Like it's different. Yeah.
You do. And I feel like you've really experienced me, if you will, in that season of, I really stopped wearing things I enjoyed in my first pregnancy, and it definitely contributed to like my PPD afterwards. And then 2024, I had the era of me, which has continued into this pregnancy, and like
Good.
finding my style through all of this has been so fun. And I'm still enjoying getting dressed at almost 39 weeks pregnant, which is like absurd and amazing all at the same time. But man, I mean, you and I have always, we connected right off the bat, and hearing you talk about that at a greater length makes me realize, I mean, no wonder, because I love who you are today, but my gosh, like I see so much of like you as 15 as me as 15.
Yeah.
Hearing that, I mean, you and I probably would have been best friends, because I had such a similar experience. Like my mom went to my high school to 20-year-old boyfriend and told him that he needed to tell me to lose weight. And that set off like a 10-year spiral for me, basically, of a very similar experience. It sounds like you had of, okay, well, now I've just decided that's something I never want. And I never want to take care of myself, because no one's letting me find my own way to that. And
I had a boyfriend in college whose mom was like very similar to that, where like I was still quite overweight in college. Like I lost a little bit of weight before, but then you gain it back 'cause you're in school. And like she tried to hypnotize me. Like literally she was like, I can hypnotize you out of eating bread. And I was like, well, let's try it. And now that I'm thinking back to that, I'm like, what? That's crazy.
Weird. It's
Why
wild.
did you do that? It didn't work. I love bread.
Oh, I still love bread, still love carbs.
I don't think I ever want to stop eating bread.
No.
I know bread is one of my favorite things. I do know that it's one of the biggest like weight gaining, foods, but I just love it so much. I'm like, it's
also necessary fuel though for our bodies. That's what a lot of people
don't
realize
energy.
about. Carbs are energy.
Carbs are
truly
energy. It's true.
And hearing you talk about specifically just the joy you found in your routine with movement and food, just like it lit me up inside, because that's exactly how I feel after that was last year for me, where I finally found, I was showing up and moving my body because it was something I enjoyed, and I enjoy the people I work out with, and I love my trainer, and I enjoy that I feel strong. And it was never about the numbers, the weight, anyone coming from an outside source or outside noise. It was a choice I made for myself and myself alone. And I had the, support of my husband and all the people that love me around me, but it wasn't a forced upon thing. It was genuinely a choice I made for myself. And I'm the same way, where it's like, now I can't imagine my life without that. It's just that shift is what I hope for anyone who is kind of longing for like a more positive relationship with food, or a more positive relationship with movement, is to really, make that decision for yourself alone and to find things that just bring you joy, because it really is such a special feeling, isn't it? Like,
it is. But I definitely feel like it's still something that I do obsess over. Like I still get upset if my efforts with eating healthy and working out don't lead to the results that I'm hoping for. Or like if I like feel not great in my body, or like my pants feel tighter, like I have not found the confidence aspect of it all yet. I'm not a very confident person, and my friends and like family would know that. Like I'm I'm outgoing and like I seem confident, but when it comes to movement, like I go to the gym with the intention of losing weight, and I come out of the gym with this whole different mindset and like just like lust for life that I didn't have before. I just move my body a little bit, and every single time I do it, I'm reminded that I didn't do it just to look different. I did it to feel better. And sometimes you literally just have to go to understand that feeling, like that, like post-workout, like good, like I needed that, like just for my mind. And I think that I'm just constantly reminded of why it's so important mentally, but like the physical aspect of it and the way that it weighs on me, like, is not something I've figured out yet.
No, and I haven't either. And I'm hearing you talk, and I feel like both of us need a new task. And one of the tasks I'm going to put on both of us.
I knew you were going to resonate with every word she said of that, because Hayley feels this a very similar way. And I love you for bringing all of that up, because it's a very important point in this conversation.
Agreed. Is that we're both going to put a sticky note on our workout shoes before we go out, and it's going to say, I'm doing this to feel good. And every single
Wait,
time.
I love that so
we
much.
should really we should try it because I'm willing. Like, let's do it together.
Let's do it.
Yes, we just put a sticky note
Can
on
I
my
am in on that group text because that just sounds
Yes.
adorable and really
Yes.
uplifting.
Yes,
That's
we
so
should, though.
cute.
Put it on. We're doing this to feel good, and it's just a reminder. So you're feeling it, and I'm feeling it the same way. We're feeling it after we do it, right? And so we're going to the gym to lose weight, or we're going to a workout class to lose weight, and just with that mindset, it kind of feels like a chore, right? It feels like a have to versus like a get to, or a need to versus a get to. And if we are reminded of that before we go to the gym, at least we're going into it with the mindset, I'm doing this to feel good. And so it's a get to versus a have to. And maybe that will even change the outcome, because you're going to either, like, I don't want to say work harder, but maybe you'll just have a different joy about working out, and it'll have your heart rate elevated more, whatever the case may be. And so the outcome is to feel good. But if the secondary outcome is that we also lose weight, then great. And I think one thing that you guys have that I don't is I don't have a public platform yet. And it's not something I've ever really aspired to have. But now that I'm doing this with Bailey, I'm like, okay, well, what is my mindset around this, right? If it were to take off and I am going to have a public platform, what will that look like? And so for you two, you have a public platform. You have two different perspectives on physical appearance and confidence. So Bailey has, at some point, we've talked about this, where she was sort of just born with this confidence. So I'm like, girl, you are so lucky. And I'm sure that there are things along the way that you've also learned that have enhanced it to help you kind of like just own whoever you are in whatever moment.
Absolutely.
And then on Josie's side, it's more, you're still sort of figuring out the confidence piece of it. And so I'd love to hear from both of you separately, like, how do you show up in such a public way with this lack of confidence? And then I'm going to turn it over to Bailey to kind of like show us the way. Or I would also like to hear of a time where recently where you haven't felt like that, because there has to have been a time.
Of course.
And if there isn't, I'm like, give me whatever drug you're taking. I can't.
It's hard to explain because I am confident in certain things. I'm just not confident in my body. So I'm confident in my mind, and I'm confident in what I have to say. And I'm confident in like that my audience is really great, and that I've like really lucked out with this niche of people who like have big feelings like me. And I'm confident about like my relationship and like my support system, and like all of these things around me make me feel secure. And I think being confident and being secure are like very tied together. But when it comes to like actually my body, when I really struggle with the fact that, like, first of all, I'm just sitting in here. I don't know what it is about the sound of my voice, but everyone thinks I'm short. So I guess I sit in here and I'm on a chair, or I'm like talking on stories and my voice is like low but high pitched, I guess. So people are like, you're probably like 4'11" or 5 feet tall at the max. So anytime anyone meets me, they go, oh my God, you're so tall. And I immediately feel a million feet bigger than I actually am. And I've always felt big.
5'9", right? From what I remember, 5'9".
I'm 5'8", yeah. So like
okay.
whenever anybody says that, it makes me feel like Barney, like I'm like, it's like I grow 10 sizes, because I'm like, well, you were expecting me to be small. And that just going out in public alone makes me feel worried. And I've had like people make comments like, oh, you're so photogenic. Like you look so good in pictures. And the way they say that, I'm like, how do you make yourself look so good in pictures? And I'm like, what? Like, I don't know. I just look good in the, like, but do you think I look weird when you meet me? Like things like that. Like I worry about people meeting me and being like, oh, she's so much bigger and taller than I thought. And that's like my number one fear. It was like my fear when I was doing my book events, and it was my fear when I was doing, like, when I do any radio station stuff where people listen to me every day and they like have this perception of how I might look or seem. And then they meet me and they're like, oh my God. So when you like meet somebody and then you don't look how they thought and they say something, you never forget the way that it made you feel in the moment, where you feel like you disappointed them with the way that you look. And I feel like it's all that kind of just like the feeling you can't get rid of after. And that's what I'm the most scared of when I go out in public and like put myself out there, for sure. But long-winded way to say it.
Or
right?
in your case, your statement specifically, like that I caught on to was they're expecting me to be smaller,
Yeah.
which literally took me to, like I said, the reason we started this podcast and called it A Splash More was because there is just this always overarching feeling, I feel like specifically as women, and this expectation of to be small. Like we're told we're
Yes.
too much, we're told we're too big, we're told all these things, but that just really caught my attention because I mean, what a strange feeling to, meet at this point a fan of yours or whomever, right? From in a setting and to feel like you have that expectation upon you. It probably impedes on your ability to kind of fully show up as yourself.
Thank you for sharing your vulnerability. I know it's hard to talk about these things, and now I'm going to toss it over to you because I always am in awe of her confidence, and it's so genuine. There are people every day I'm like, no, but for real, like for reals. And she's like, no, for real. I really don't give an FUCK. Like it's really just does not matter to me. So I know that is your mostly truth, but I think it's important for people to hear like 1 or 2 times recently where you've maybe, and I know you just posted it. Is she just skinny or what's this?
Is it cute or is she just skinny? Pregnancy edition.
And she put it on and she was like, nah, I'm just not like feeling this. But it didn't make you feel bad about yourself, right? Or did it?
No. And the more we conversate, you and I specifically, it's so wild because we have so many parallels, but they're also like I'm essentially the opposite of what you described. There are a lot of like life things that I feel a lot less confident in. And Hayley and I have talked about this a little bit, that I really need to start showing up for myself in better ways. But when it comes to my body, getting dressed, walking out in the world, nothing can stop me. Like that is like the most unapologetic part of myself.
Right.
And I was telling Hayley, I wish there was like, that's my biggest struggle right now, honestly, as a creator, is I wish I had like a guidebook to that. But I struggle with how to, because I do believe, as you mentioned earlier, there are pieces of that can be taught and shared, and it's going to show up differently for everyone. But there's this piece of me that I think that like a part of that has just always been built as a part of Bailey.
Yeah.
And I struggle to figure out how to pass that on to people that ask me like how the quintessential statement, how did you get so confident? That kind of brings me into a topic I want to make sure we cover, that if you're okay with me asking you about, that we both had recent surgeries in like the last year. And that topic goes directly into kind of what I was going to say about, my own journey just with body, is that I say that before my breast reduction. I'm like, I wore backless dresses before my breast reduction. Like I felt great in my body. I was 75 pounds heavier, also still felt great in my body. It was never a lack of self-worth, self-love, or positive body image. And it is wild because people will ask me like, do I experience now like body dysmorphia after having my breast reduction? And for me personally, I feel more at home in my body than I ever have, simply because I am comfortable. I'm pain-free. I can move the way I want to.
Yep.
I can, wrestle with my son the way I want to, and is the perk on top of all of that being able to like comfortably wear a top and not wear a bra? Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yep.
And I will not sugarcoat that. That's an amazing perk. But was it like my overall intention? No. But I'm curious. I know you've talked a little bit about it on socials, but how has it been just adjusting? How long has it been now since your skin removal surgery? Is that technically what it?
I had a skin removal surgery on my like lower abdomen, lower back in 2019. And then I went back in for my arms in February. So like 5 months ago. Is that 5 or 6 months ago? And after my like first experience, because I had gotten to like my goal weight, which is never your goal weight. You never finish it, which sucks. But I had like maintained it for long enough that a surgeon was willing to do it. Because they ask like for certain qualifications or whatever, and they don't want to do it. And then you gain weight right away because it can be like super unhealthy for you and your skin and all that. But I actually got like I got sepsis after the surgery. So I like got a really severe blood infection, and I like could have died. Like it was really scary. I was in the hospital for like a month, and I went home and it just like went south. So I was like, I'm never doing that again. I literally almost died just so I could have this body. Like wasn't the point. That's how I was feeling when I was in the hospital. And it kind of made me be like, and then when I got out, I was like, okay, I'm actually happy I did it. Because I didn't die. And it was like, I feel really good. But then I started to realize that like all of these problems that I thought were going to disappear when I changed my body, were going to like go away because I was going to have a flat stomach. No,
Not how it
like
works.
I'm still the same person. I have the same brain and the same heart. I just have a different body. And I was like, oh my God, I have so much shit to deal with. I thought that was the problem. I thought that was why that was causing all my, and like this. And then 5 years later, I was like, there's no way that happens again. So I went, got my arms done, and I'm really happy that I did both. And I know that like obviously the risk is there, and it's unfortunate that happened, and it was super scary. But like you said, I just feel more at home in my body, and it's not because I'm smaller. It's because I just felt like there were like, I don't know, I just didn't need that anymore. Like I didn't want it and I didn't need it anymore. And I don't think that everybody who has like an apron belly or extra skin or like jiggly arms, we all do, I still do, like needs to go get plastic surgery at all. I wouldn't recommend it to a person who wasn't thinking about it, but I would say that you have like your one body, and if there's something you can do to make it more how you want it, and it's going to make you more comfortable in like your home, like do it. Absolutely do it. I champion anything that you want to do to your own body 100% if it's going to make you more comfortable.
Right there with you, sis.
Yeah. And I think that both of these stories are important stories to talk about, because you also brought something else up in your story that I think is very like hot right now. And I'm not going to say the name of it correctly, so please correct me. The GLP-1s.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. GLP-1s, which is like the Ozempics of the world, but like there's things out there on the market that aren't diabetes focused, right? And it's more about weight loss. Is that true?
I think they're all kind. Yeah, I think they all kind of were intentionally made for. Semaglutides, tirzepatides,
because I know that there are other brands like that brand Her, I think, is coming out with a semaglutide that isn't, I don't know if it's FDA approved, whatever. I don't want to get like technical and scientific on this chat, but it's such a big topic right now. And it's something that is coming up a lot. And as you said, it's being thrown in your face through advertisements and different marketing approaches. And I know that you also just said that like if something is out there on the market and you think it's going to help you feel more confident in your home, which is our bodies, then you're an advocate for it. So
yeah,
I think to all of us, I think that that's important to say to all of us, like having that conversation, it shouldn't be a scary conversation to have, to say like, hey, I don't like this part of me and I want to feel more comfortable and confident in my body. So I'm going to have the breast reduction. I'm going to have the skin removal. I'm going to take the semaglutide and feel no sort of way around it. Other than just making the choice for myself. But I think the distinction and part of what's so important about this conversation and having it for this topic of our podcast is like the intention behind it.
Yes.
Are you doing it to step into the best, brightest, whatever version of yourself? Then girl, boy, whoever's listening, go after it. If you're doing it to like appeal to other people or to, fit a mold that you think the world wants you to be in, then that's probably not the right way to do it. And the story is going to come back up, right? So like whatever that story is, until you can get to that place where you're doing it simply to step into the best version of yourself, maybe we hold off until we start doing things like that, right? That's just my perspective on it. I don't know if that's true or not.
No, beautifully said, especially in my niche of like, I don't even, it kind of like, see, I'm sitting in discomfort a little bit right now as I approach this, because I started as a plus size creator. I don't know that I necessarily consider myself like plus size or mid size right now. Like I'm just existing in my body, and that should be enough. Period.
Yes.
But I felt like myself tread kind of lightly with that when I was initially talking about the reduction, because of course, when you start like a platform.
I worried about that too. Being like, accept yourself, but I'm gonna go get my arms chopped in half. Like I was like, I don't know how people are gonna take it. And then I kind of got to the point where I was like, I don't care what you think.
But you're not doing it for
you don't have to live in my body.
Right?
I do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Precisely. And I love that you specifically referenced it as your home. Like
I do too.
You live in, like, it is the one thing that we only know, like solely ourselves, you know, and we spend the most time with us as humans.
No one knows, no one else on the planet. Even if you have a child, yes, they were inside your body for a little bit if you had a child that way. They still don't know what it's like to live inside of your body every single day. No one else will ever know what that feels like except for you.
Do you follow Smaller Sam?
She's the PCOS gal, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I just like I'm gonna reference something that she said. I just want to think that I like quoted it or whatever. Like I saw it in one of her videos. When it comes to GLP-1, and I'm saying this as somebody who right now in my life I don't feel like it's the right move for me. I'm getting married soon, and then I hope to like be lucky enough to be able to like start a family. And I don't know if like that like what's known and what's not, and like it just doesn't feel like the right time for me. I don't know if there ever will be a right time, but I do think that GLP-1s are like you said, like a totally personal choice, and I think that people should do it if they want and if they can afford it and have access to it. And there's no I don't want to say this and be wrong, but as far as I understand, there's not a shortage. I'm seeing ads everywhere. You're not taking things away from people, but they are raising the prices and stuff. So I can see that. Maybe just cut this part out. But when I think about GLP-1s, I think like if you have access to it and it's going to help you, like right now for me, I'm at like a total standstill in my weight loss journey. I've gained weight. I cannot lose it. And it sucks. Like it's really hard to be like going to the gym all the time and like tracking my meals and drinking water and trying to sleep and like balance everything in life and not be able to see a change and know that there's just like that I can just walk into a pharmacy and ask for this and they'll give it to me and that might be the solution. But like I don't know, it's in your face all the time. And I'm saying this as somebody who like just doesn't feel like it's right for me at this moment. But when I see people using GLP-1s and them working, I almost get like triggered by it because I want those results. And I feel like that's why people get mad. And this brings me to that, my friend Sam, who basically was like, you never cared about diabetic health of anybody else before this. And now you're triggered because you feel like people are changing their bodies and they're looking in a way that like you would want to look. And I heard that and I was like, oh yeah, like any kind of triggering feeling I felt watching somebody actively lose weight, like I get jealous. And I'm like, why can't that be me? Like, why can't I do that? And you feel like, I don't know, it's high pressure when you hear about another person like starting to take it because you're like, I just want to do it too, but then you don't know if it's right for you and you don't know if it's healthy for you and like what like the repercussions are. And you hear half the world saying it's great and it's the best solution and it's the best thing they ever did, and half the people saying that they had this awful thing happen or that an awful thing can happen. And I don't know, it's just a very confusing conversation. But I advocate for anybody who wants to do it.
I'm on the same page as you, but I also agree. Yep. I'm on the same page as you with that. I think anybody, it's your body, your choice. However you want to like work with it is up to you. But the same as you, I get super triggered too. Like I just had a baby in January. And
congratulations.
Thank you. My second one, and it was also my second C-section and my second in 3 years. So it was a lot of,
a lot on the bod
for 3 years. And I'm still working through like the repercussions of all of that. Mentally and physically. And I've had, friends going through a similar journey who have, tried GLP-1s and just like seeing how much weight they've lost. And I'm just like, but like still not ready to go there yet. Like for myself, it just doesn't feel like the right thing. But the same as you, I get like jealous, I get envious. I'm like, I want it to happen fast like that. But maybe that's not what's right for me. Maybe I just am meant to like do this in the slow burn, literally and physically. But I also wanted to make one point to you, and I don't know if it's going to help you, but it helped me. As far as like weight loss is concerned, I went through a leadership program. And one of the things that we talked about is weight loss versus weight release. And so when we change that piece of language, when we say I lost weight, what is, if you lose something, what can you do again?
Get it back, find it.
You can find it again, right? And so when we say we release weight, it's like we're releasing it. Like we're actually like letting go of it.
Yeah.
letting it go. And having that simple shift in language for me did help. I'm like, okay, I don't want to lose it, because also losing it sounds like, again, like a chore and a journey.
Yeah,
And
it
like,
does.
right. It just feels like
The
something that
negative thing to lose
a
something.
negative. Yes. To lose something. So switching that little bit of language for me really helped. So I don't know if it will help you or it will help
I love
anyone
that.
who's
That's
listening.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's really
Thank
cool.
you. I can't take.
You're so good at taking a lot of these conversations and coming up with tools. And I love that. And it's kind of the reason she and I like gravitated so well together, because we bring different things to the table.
Yeah.
And I just love that you brought up that narrative from Sam, because what a beautiful perspective shift. Like I personally, I don't know that I had thought about it in that way either, about like diabetics specifically. And like, what a slap in the face, honestly, to people in healthcare to be like, oh, now you guys, now we care. Like now we're making noise, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it just goes to everything in life in the world right now. Like people love to have opinions when, you know, it means something personal to them or when they're personally triggered by it. But like life just keeps moving every other day, you know?
No,
I mean,
it's really, it's so true. It's so true. And I think the more we have conversations like this, I think the more it opens up space for people to be vulnerable about what we're feeling. Like this is a strange topic.
We grew up in an era where like everything was a point system, and everyone was doing like isogenic shake cleanses and lemon water with cayenne pepper and not eating for 5 days and calling it a cleanse. Like that's not a cleanse. That's starving yourself and losing 10 pounds.
Yeah.
And
drinking a
it
lot of
was
sugar,
like
usually.
our mom's going to, and honestly, Weight Watchers helped me a lot. I used it first and I did learn a lot about nutrition and stuff. But like when you're 12 and your mom's talking about like points and weight and how like just it's impossible to lose weight, and everyone at school's moms are talking about it, so everyone at school is talking about it, and it's just like, you know, it's just this heavy conversation that we've always kind of had to be a part of, because when you're a kid all you can do is watch. Like, so you're just like, okay, so that's what we do. We gain weight and we try to lose it. That's how, and when we gain weight, we hate ourselves and we take forever looking in the mirror and we feel like we can't leave the house. And does this skirt make me look fat? And, but like, that's just kind of like what we've always been around.
Thank you for continuing to step into your voice, into your gifts, into your platform, regardless of your confidence story around your body, your weight journey, all of the things, because I think that's really the whole point of this, right? Is to show people that this can be hard in our minds, right? This kind of, it's hard for me. And, you know, Bailey and I talk about this. I talked about it on pretty much every single episode where I'm like, this is really hard for me to step into this, you know, in front of this microphone, to have these kinds of conversations, to put myself.
You make it look easy. By the way, you look like you're very comfortable there.
Which is funny, because I'm just going to add one thing in really quick before you continue, because I never fully answered it about something about, you know, my confidence levels, etc. But I think an important thing to point out, actually, that people don't see behind the scenes here is like, I'm not confident. And it's, people have asked me to do a pod for years. Huge part of the reason I never did it is because I'm not confident in like the back end work.
Yeah.
Like the editing, the setting things up, the like I found us this space, but like without you, like setting all this up, like we wouldn't be doing it. And I think it's an important thing to know, because while I'm very comfortable in front of a camera and the mic, we bring in these pieces together that are extremely valuable and necessary to make this happen. And I just don't want anyone sitting, teamwork behind here being like, wow, like she really can do it all. Like there are things that I don't excel at too. And that's a beautiful part of all of this too, is just admitting like, nope, I'm not confident in those things. And you are in other areas that I don't bring to the table. So
in like
that's why we need each other.
Yep, that is exactly right. And then the one thing I want to add to that is I also did not know how to do any of this stuff, because I want people to know, just do the thing. Whatever you have on your heart to do the thing. The confidence part of it you'll figure it out. And it'll come. And that's what we did. We walked into this room. I've never worked in GarageBand before. I've never worked on a console with microphones. I'm like, I'm just going to figure this out and plug my computer in and see what happens. And luckily the universe was like, okay, we're going to make this real easy, because I've been in situations where it's not, but you still got to just figure it out.
Yep.
Okay. So 2 things. One of the things we wanted to try, and we'll see if it works. I don't really know how we're going to do it. So
this was your idea. So I'll let you take
it. Is playing a game of Never Have I Ever is the first. And then the second would be never would I ever. And the never would I ever is a challenge to yourself and kind of leads us into that question that Bailey sent you an email, which was like, what is the thing you've done so much? You've, authored
doing so much currently.
Exactly. Authored New York Times bestseller. You're about to author another one. I'm going to claim that for you, manifest. And, just a multitude of other things. What is that thing that you don't think you can do that you really want to do? What is your splash more?
Wear shorts in public, like to like an event. I've not done that since I was like 22, and I don't think I'll ever do it again. I just like do not like, and it's like goes against everything I say. And I
was gonna say, excuse me, miss, like I'm rolling 8 different poems in my head from you right now.
Listen, I don't wish how I feel on anyone. So that's why I'm like, this 100%. Is a silly way to feel. But that's why I'm like, what I try to preach is that I'm talking about this because I feel this way, not because I've healed from it. So
and
like,
also, I just want to clarify, it's not silly. It's not a silly feeling.
No, I know. And actually, like, I know this is a quick rapid fire, so I won't get too into it, but I just got diagnosed with lipedema, which is like, just like a,
yes.
Yeah. And it validated me so much because it's you can't exercise it away or like eat healthy and it goes away. Like it just gets worse and it weighs more and it makes everything make so much sense, which doctors like, please, I have to advocate so hard for myself. They're like, just try intermittent fasting. I'm like, no, something's wrong. And that was what's wrong. So like, I just found that out, and that kind of, I was telling my friends and they're all like, that's awful. I'm like, well, no, actually it's amazing. Like, I'm so happy that I know now, because at least I can like give myself a little dry brush and like know that I'm not doing something wrong. It's just like genetic, but either way, wear shorts. And not because I've always struggled with my legs, like kind of to me looking like a little bit weird and different than other people's. And now for the first time in 32 years, I understand why. So I'm like, I have a reason. Like I haven't done anything wrong. Like this is just who I am. So maybe I'll try to wear shorts in public.
Well,
probably not.
We're gonna do that when we're in Calgary.
I was gonna say, I mean, Calgary stampede's in the summer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Is it hot?
Yeah.
It's
hot. We won't project
we won't project it, but maybe that'll be the moment.
Yeah, maybe that'll be the moment.
Man, wow. Yeah, see, I think a lot of listeners will honestly like find that surprising to hear from you, and also like refreshing.
So the never have I ever game I'm trying to play. So you guys just did something, you both did it. And I was like, never have I ever did that. It might be a never would I ever. You both did the arm jiggle on camera. You both were like, you both were just like, she jiggled her arm, you jiggled your arm. I'm like, oh my God, that is like a great never have I ever. Would I do that? Like, just, my arms are covered right now, so I can do it.
I see Josie's scars too, and I'm just like, oh God, they're just so empowering and gorgeous. That's like what I think when I see you.
Well, and also, who cares? Thanks. You guys are both doing it, and I'm not in my mind being like, how dare they? I just took note of it because I knew this game was coming, and I'm like, oh my God, they both just had the balls.
Never would I ever jiggle my arms on camera.
Yes, never would I ever. So 5 fingers up. We'll each just go through.
Guys, wait. Should we make like a confidence never have I ever card game for people to play?
Yes. I feel like so many, like I obviously like love this conversation just for the reason we're having it. But then during it, I was like, wait, we could do so much cool shit.
So much.
Never have I ever / never would I ever, but like the confidence version where people can pull cards and realize all the shit they don't do, like all the shit they're missing out on.
Yes.
We should
imagine that as like a game at like a if somebody used it like a bachelorette or like a how cool would that be?
And then you have to like do the thing, like wear fucking shorts, like at the end of the world.
Have, like, all of your hype girls around you being like, come on, we're gonna do this. You're gonna wear the shorts.
Use them at future confidence retreats.
I'm gonna go up to Joe and I'm gonna say, pick me up and spin me around.
Yeah, or like never have I ever like eaten like pizza without thinking about the calories in it. Like you're kind of being like, holy shit, like I'm really not living. Like that's
never
kind of
have I ever gone into the restaurant and seen the calories and been like, I'm not eating here. Like
exactly.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. So we'll do I don't know how many rounds. Let's just go until it starts to feel stagnant. So do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Does that help? Okay. Never have I ever stopped my partner from picking me up playfully.
Okay. Never have I ever turned around on the scale to not see weight at like a doctor's appointment or wherever.
Yep.
I'm doing that currently
Yep.
at my pregnancy appointments. It's a rule for me, like every pregnancy. I just know that my mental health, I mean, I hardly do it in general. at
You're
doctor's
growing
appointments.
another human. Like you can't be trying to lose weight right now. Like
Precisely.
Exactly.
Girl's not
there's
looking
no
at
point
the
in knowing.
scale. Nope, no
Yeah.
point in knowing. Exactly.
Exactly.
Never have I ever considered skipping the event because I don't like the way my body looks.
Ooh.
That was on my list. That was a good one. Yep, that was a good one. Never have I ever played beach volleyball or like a beach sport in a bikini.
Oh God, I've never played a sport.
No. So maybe our come
that
from is
golf?
different. Maybe
I
our
didn't even
come
know
from
I was
is different.
looking
Like we live on the beach, so I will walk on the beach and I'll see all these girls playing like volleyball, like jumping up and down, like throwing their bodies. I'm like, oh, I would never, because like who knows what's gonna fall out, who knows what's gonna jiggle. It's just like nothing I would ever do.
I
just
wouldn't
never do.
either.
Thank you.
I mean, you had a hard time walking in the Strand last week in
I did in
tight clothing. You came in and told me about it.
I did in a unitard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a unitard. But I only
It
wore
was cuter
it.
than it sounds.
I
A
only
unitard.
wore it because Bailey is in my life. I wouldn't even have worn it or tried it before her. So that's a good.
Slay.
This is kind of similar to the one you already gave, but I thought it was like a funny. Never have I ever made jokes to the doctor about weight before being weighed at the doctor's. Like I'll go on every single time. I'm like, oh, I ate a big sandwich today. This isn't going to be fun. Like,
I've done that.
Like, just like cringe.
I actually don't know that I've ever done that.
Really?
To be honest.
Josie, we need another hand.
I hold my breath at the doctor when they're doing my blood pressure so it comes out lower. Because I don't want it to be high, and they're told it's kind of too low, and they're like, "Are you?"
I don't
breathing?"
think-
and I'm like,
I
"No."
And I also don't think that's how it works.
Oh, okay,
maybe.
well, my blood pressure was like slightly lower than it needs to be, so I was
Well,
like, maybe that's why. Anyway,
Okay, that did spark a different one in my brain, actually. Never have I ever thought about what I consume prior to a doctor appointment thinking it'll make a difference.
All of it.
even the outfit I wear, I'm like, I shouldn't wear these jeans because I'm not going to be.
Oh,
able to
because
take
like they're
them
gonna.
off.
How many times you
Yes.
ask like, oh, should I take my sunglasses off? Should I take my flip flop off? Because that's gonna attribute to like
I
what's
just
on
take
the scale.
everything off. I'm like,
Absurd.
should I step on this naked? I would never
Yep.
be caught dead naked anywhere else
Yep.
except for the scale of the doctor's office.
Oof.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. That is.
Never have I ever avoided buying jeans because I thought the size that fit me was too big.
Hmm.
And on that,
Bailey still got 2 fingers up from
Yes.
her original
she's
5.
like a magic. And she's not going to put a finger down for mine, which is a follow up to yours.
Okay.
Never have I ever bought something that's a little too small for me because I didn't want it to be the bigger size.
Yes.
Mm.
And you're like going back and forth, being like, I wonder
Yes.
if this size is better than the bigger size. And you're
Yeah.
like, no, it
No,
looks
I
stupid.
can't.
It's supposed to
Yes.
be loose. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Mm.
Have you sat on Sam's lap, or do you
Oh, I have.
regularly?
Not
Oh, I sat on
regularly.
Santa's lap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've sat on Joe's lap, but only forced because like we're in the car and we don't have enough seats. And I'm like, all right, well, it's awkward if my mom sits on your lap, so I'll do it.
Fair. Yeah, that is weird.
I sat on Santa's lap, and then we got a text to the radio station from a guy being like, I was Santa. And I was like, oh, well, I guess I sat on your lap.
Stop. That's amazing.
Did you have fun
I'm
at the
dead.
Christmas market? He sent me a picture of us. I was like,
Oh.
That's
Hi.
amazing.
Okay, yeah, I have said on Sam's lap, but I will follow that up with saying that like now that I'm thinking about it, I've always kind of like done it on my tippy toes because I'm nervous about how
yeah,
heavy I'll
you
be.
don't want to
Yeah.
fall all the way down.
Or like making yourself try to make yourself
Try to make
smaller.
myself smaller.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We don't do that.
Okay,
We don't do
Nope.
that.
never
we
have I
don't.
ever questioned my partner for hating my body.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Even though he's very clear that he
Billy's
doesn't.
like, I know my man loves every inch.
Exactly. It's.
do.
I'm like, girl. I don't know. We need to like put it in a bottle and sell it. Whatever
I
this
know.
is that we have.
No, for
We'll sell it
real.
with the card game, just like a little bottle of Bailey's
Yes.
confidence.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Oh my.
Oh man, yeah.
It's on me now. I've given you all mine. Typical. Never have I ever.
Typical.
Typical.
This
This is. Never have I ever regularly been intimate with the lights on, or I'm not like comfortable doing it.
Mm.
I
Even
feel like
with
later in my like later in life, when younger, never. But like
Never.
now I'm like, you're marrying me. Like, what is there to hide? Now I'm here.
I wish he not only did he marry me, he had 2 babies with me, and he has never made me feel anything other than beautiful, and so there we go. All right, go ahead. I've already lost.
I know
You're
I'm already
2
up.
hands
I'm like
down.
kind of
I'm 2
half a
hands down.
finger left.
Wow. I'm
Yes,
still on hand 1.
I know, which we were not surprised that was a media outcome.
Mm.
All right, well, that was really fun. I think
I love that so much. I
love
really
it.
do feel like we should do a live version of that.
Yes.
I'm like really excited for future conversations with all of us. And I
Yeah,
just,
me too.
yeah,
Me
I just
too.
adore your energy and like love you
Same
so
to
much.
you.
And I'm so grateful that you're in my world and our circle. And I think the world is just going to continue to benefit from all the beautiful things that you have to say and share.
Oh, thank you so
thank you
much.
for
And I'm
being
so
here.
excited that you guys wanted me to come on your podcast. I really appreciate it.
Talk soon.
Thank
Love you.
you.
Thank you so much for this. This was awesome. Love you guys.
Thank you for being here. We
Bye.
appreciate you. Talk soon.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to A Splash More.
If you love this week's episode, please drop us a topic in comments, share this episode with a friend, and follow us so you never miss a splash.
And remember, keep owning your voice, take up space, and keep stepping into your most powerful self.
See you next week.
See you next week.